Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric and Chad here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we've got another Gun Gripe episode for you. All right, this is a pretty good one. I think you guys are going to like it. We're going to dive into this discussion. We're going to talk about negligent discharges in relation to the fact that they don't discriminate. Okay, you guys know recent events in Louisville. There was a negligent discharge. 3 people were injured. We'd like to kind of touch on that a bit. So in lieu of the shooting, it would actually be a really good opportunity for me to tell you guys about USCCA, United States Concealed Carry Association. You guys have probably heard of them or heard that term thrown around a little bit. They are a great group of people. They provide self-defense legal protection. So if you're involved in a legal shooting, they definitely go out of their way to provide the legal resources to make sure that you're taken care of and that you can come out, hopefully on top. They do have lots of firearms education, different training resources, tons of videos, guides, books, and articles. So don't think of it like a gun insurance type of thing. The best way to think about it is along the lines of a total training regimen and a advocacy regimen that helps make sure that you're not put in a situation where you're going to be involved in a bad shooting or you're going to make a bad decision. So they help, give you the resources to make sure that you understand the laws in your area, what you're supposed to do, what you're not supposed to do, what's a good shoot, what's a bad shoot. So really, really great opportunity for that. You really do have a higher chance of being involved in some type of a shooting now with all the general civil unrest, the current political climate. More people are gun owners now. There's tons of new gun owners. So, it is going to segue into this gripe. You can avoid a lot of that baggage that comes along with defending yourself. You got bail, you've got attorney's fees, you've got civil and criminal defense costs. I mean, all these fees that you can get hit with if you're involved in a shooting. All right, so when you are a member of USCCA, you get to choose your own attorney. They have an entire network of Pro 2A attorneys that you can choose from. You get critical response teams that are on call 24/7, 365 days a year, which is awesome. It's more than a firearms insurance. It provides you with a good amount of knowledge across a broad spectrum of different things to make sure that you are a well-informed and trained gun owner as well, so that if you are involved in a shooting, that it is something that you're going to come out on top legally and make sure that you're not going to get in a bunch of trouble, okay? They do have 3 tiers. They have a gold, platinum, and elite, and each of those different tiers provides some different coverage amounts in terms of liability coverage, personal injury coverage, and stuff like that. So look into it. Might be something worth checking out, and it really does ring true with the subject matter of this video because I'm pretty sure that those guys, the 3 wounded people, are going to be looking for some retribution, and accidents happen. So let's get into this a little bit, talk about it. It's like we're not going to try to really pick a side in terms of who's wrong, who's right, who should or should not be going out and showing solidarity. I mean, look, the Second Amendment's for everybody, and everyone has the ability to protect themselves, protect their communities, and to protest peacefully. And sometimes a peaceful protest involves carrying a firearm to show, solidarity with firearms owners and that you're willing to protect yourself. And it's worth noting, we did the previous gun gripe on Breonna Taylor. Mm-hmm. So this had to do with justice for Breonna Taylor. And we totally agree that what happened to Breonna Taylor was horrible. And we hate that for the family and for the community. And it's just terrible, right? So good intentions, all right, may be wrapped up in a situation where, look, I'm sure no one meant to discharge a firearm and hurt someone, but mistakes happen. And training mistakes happen, right? So if we are going to use a firearm for self-preservation, or whether we're going to a rally or whatever the case may be, we've got to make sure for not only ourselves but the people around us that we're doing our due diligence to make sure that we understand our weapons platform 110%, because it reflects negatively upon gun owners. This isn't about NFAC. This isn't about this group, that group, this race, that race. All of that is completely irrelevant, because the mainstream media and the leftist agenda and the way that they try to push things, all this is going to be to them is, oh, see, gun owners are irresponsible. They don't care who has the gun. All they see is, oh, a gun had an accident, therefore, oh, well, it's all the fault of the gun owners now. So,
yep.
It's real scary.
Well, and there's a lot of misinformation that, God, put that on a T-shirt. Misinformation. I swear, man, that gets thrown out there all the time when things like this happen, okay? If something would have happened up in Virginia, okay, with all the gun owners that were carrying firearms during the rallies up there and the rallies that happened in Kentucky as well that you attended, it would have been blown out of proportion on the media, across every single network that you can think of and all over the internet. It would have been blown way out of proportion. Like white militias shoot each other accidentally, blah, 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 all this kind of crap. So you had an opposing militia that was like the 3%ers, okay, that were up in Louisville at this time. They were counter-protesting NFAC, okay, and in a sense they were counter-protesting Breonna Taylor, which I don't agree with at all, but they blasted this group, okay. These are primarily a white group of gun owners that blasted this group for having an ND. And if you look further and see the details, okay, this is from one of the leaders of this group here, NFAC. All right, they said it was an individual who had the accidental discharge. It was an older shotgun that did not have a safety feature. It went off, according to Johnson, when its holder passed out from the heat and dropped it, thus spreading the buckshot that injured 3 people. So here I am, initially, when we heard about this, trying to figure out, I was like, man, what kind of firearm was it that somebody got injured? And then the bullet or the shot or whatever it was injured 2 other people as well. So one person, one person got hit in the leg, one got hit in the right here in the shoulder, and then the other girl got hit in the arm. So they were all taken care of. The march proceeded on, and the protest went on. But so accidents happen, okay? And in this instance, it's hot as Hades in the South in the summer, okay? It's like air made of hot soup. Okay, so there are certain things that need to be attended to. When you've got this many people, upwards of, I think, 300 people that were marching here, you've got to have resources available to make sure that people stay hydrated, keep their energy levels up.
Because, guys, drink water. Stay hydrated.
But, also, a lot of these folks that are marching probably don't have, any sort of training whatsoever. A lot of the firearms that you see being used by these groups, they're very random firearms. It's kind of like whatever they had in the closet because they wanted to show, solidarity and support for their movement, okay? So they're grabbing whatever arm they have at their disposal. And it could be any one of us. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. It could be anybody. If we're out protesting, there could be an accident in a protest that we're attending. Whatever the case is. There could have been something that happened in Virginia. It could happen to anybody. But the way that the media distorts these events and the way that even other gun owners distort these events, just it looks bad on gun owners as a whole. We always go back to that. You look at the Second Amendment community as a whole, and things that happen within our community get divided up, and then the individual groups within the community start fighting each other. That's not the way that it needs to work. We need to be one homogenous organization that's fighting for Second Amendment rights, fighting for justice in this case against a real case of police brutality in this case, like red flag laws, no-knock warrants, things like this happen. Innocent people die because of negligence, and that's a worthy cause to be protesting.
I agree, and I think that I don't think that there is a single person anywhere that would ever think that some drug-related thing is worth dying over or worth shooting someone over or worth, it's anyone can pit each side against each other or say, oh, well, should have did this, should have done that. Anybody can play Monday quarterback. I think that the optics of the situation is something that's important, and that no matter what side of the situation you are on in terms of what you believe and what you don't believe, all of those things become, kind of irrelevant when you look at the optics of how gun owners are approached. Now, guys, make sure you're drinking water. If you're going to go out to these protests or whatever you're going to do, drink water and hydrate. It's hot out there. This could have been avoided just by, having some cases of water on hand where people can stay hydrated. Look, if you look to your left and your right, okay, and you see somebody standing over there and their safety's off on their gun, you look over and you see the safety's flipped off. Hey, your safety's off. Or, we have to police each other in terms of, when you see a safety violation, or if you see someone looks like they're about to fall out, or if you see someone that looks like they could use some water, it's okay to speak up and go, hey man, you need to drink some water. You're looking like you're about to fall out. Because this is the kind of stuff that happens.
Yeah.
And then also, like, the condition of your firearm, if you're going to be involved in these types of things, you must know the condition and situation that your firearm is in at all times. And that includes knowing if there's a stovepipe. You know, you went to charge the magazine and you look down, there's a stovepipe, and you're walking around with a stovepipe showing, and then it's all over the news. You're carrying a 22 with a stovepipe. Like, that doesn't look professional. That doesn't look like, oh, these are gun handlers. It looks like you're amateurs, right? And I'm not trying to polarize this or make it a bad thing. I'm trying to look at it from a training disposition, from a disposition of firearms owners and the way that they approach things and the way that the media approaches things. So it's like, if you're going to carry a firearm, if you're going to make that statement, don't go halfway. Like, make sure you look professional and that you look the part and that you're being professional. You know, and I'll go back to Virginia. I feel like we're on a completely different planet right now than we were earlier in the year when we had the rally in Virginia. Dude, it was such a humble experience for me to have all those people show up to detest all of the horrible anti-gun legislation that Virginia was trying to shove down their citizens' throats, right? And there was people of all backgrounds at that rally. I mean, there was white, black, Hispanic, Asian, you name it. Everyone was there, all showing support for the Second Amendment. That energy is the energy that we need moving forward. We don't need to break off into tribes and fall into savagery. That's not what America needs. America needs unity, and they need the energy that was at the Virginia rally. And that's why I covered the rally. If you guys haven't seen our video, we interview a ton of people. We show, a bunch of shots, people walking around. You'll see there was plenty of guns at that rally, okay? Plenty of guns, okay? Nobody got hurt. No one got hurt, and they cleaned up all the trash. They didn't leave a bunch of bull crap on the ground. The way that society paints a picture of gun owners is of a very, very infinite sort of totality, right? They're going to look at every tiny aspect. They're going to pick every single thing apart. They're going to, your handling, how you looked, the way you were dressed. Did you leave junk all over the ground? Did you trash the place? Did someone get shot when a shotgun hit the ground? I mean, those are all things that ultimately are going to be a measure that all gun owners are compared to. So if you're going to represent gun owners, no matter what political narrative or what racial narrative you want to push, I'm not against or for, whatever, do your thing, be you, do you. But if you're going to represent gun owners as a whole, you have a responsibility to all of us normal gun owners to try to not make us look bad, because they're looking for any opportunity they can to demonize gun owners. And please don't give them that ability to damage people and damage us collectively. And
all it does is add fuel to the fire.
It does.
One thing that I've been scouring the internet and scouring some of these articles and things and some of the social media posts, trying to find some aftermath of the accidental discharge there and all, or the negligent discharge. But I wanted to see, like, if anybody was carrying medical, like if anybody attended these people like right then and there, or they had to call in paramedics and such. Because a common theme, I'm not specifically talking about the NFAC and this particular protest or whatever the case might be, just protests that are going on, general civil unrest. Folks want to protest, but then they're not prepared for things that might become of those protests, like these shootings that are going on in cities around the country, okay, in the middle of these protests by instigators, by Antifa, whatever boogeyman you want to talk about, okay, somebody's going to get hurt. Like, how prepared are you to deal with a medical situation like that, or are you going to have to call some authority? You're going to have to call the police. You're going to have to call the fire department. You're going to have to call EMTs.
But you defunded them.
We won't go there. Some of the images that I saw paramedics out there attending to these victims. But I didn't see anything like of an individual within the group who was attending to somebody medically. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm just saying this is what I've seen. But if you're going to carry firearms, we always preach it. If you're going to carry firearms, you're going to demonstrate like this. Carry medical, know how to use it, because if something bad can happen, it can happen to anybody, any one of us. And these people are very lucky that that shot wasn't higher, okay? Because if you would have gotten buckshot to the head or something, there could have been a death at this protest.
Yeah, one piece of buckshot to the jugular.
Things like this, they happen. Okay, they're a facet of gun ownership. Unfortunately, there are going to be negligent and accidental discharges from firearms that are either not cared for. There may be a manufacturing defect. There may be a defect, down the line from parts that corroded, whatever the case is, bad ammunition, or just human negligence. Okay, so these things happen. You have to be prepared for them, but these people are blessed that nothing worse became of the situation. Yeah. Very blessed, very lucky.
And I will add as well, they're also lucky that it didn't escalate a very, very nasty situation, which could have got worse. Okay, so what if someone would have heard a gunshot and then went, oh crap, something's happening, and then now you got indiscriminate, Mexican standoff, and now it's some horrible situation which could have been completely prevented. That
high
came
tensions
from nothing, right? So
high tensions.
The medical aspect's important. I believe that you need to be able to make a hole, but the chances of you needing to plug a hole and to stop bleeding far outweigh the chance that you're going to actually have to use a firearm to cause, to protect yourself or whatever. So the thing is, I used to think, whatever, give me some extra mags. But the thing is, the medical is a super important aspect of this. Like, make sure you get some medical training, be prepared to save someone. And look, you're walking down the street, say you are just a regular old protester doing your thing, you're not trying to hurt anybody, but some dude throws a brick and they miss the window and it hits someone in the head, knocks them out. What do you do, right? Or whatever. Anything could happen. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. I mean, there's fires, stuff is catching on fire, there's people flipping things and throwing things and smashing things, there's broken glass. There's plenty of ways to get hurt out there. Sprained ankles, bruises, simple things like that, all the way up to third-degree burns, glass cutting you, puncture wounds. There's plenty of ways that you can get hurt when you're out there. So I think it's safe to say that a majority of Americans understand that, there's going to be people that have, different views and they want to go out there and they want to protest this or that or whatever. No one's saying don't protest. Just understand that the world's a scary and dangerous place. And when you get that mob mentality, when you get all those people together, all it takes is a tiny spark. And something that began as being just really simple and peaceful and you doing your thing, now it turned into an utter bloodbath just because one person decided to throw a brick. And now all of a sudden there's a shopping cart full of bricks. And now what does everybody do? It's mob mentality. They all start throwing bricks. Like happened... and it's just crazy. So, look, if you're going to carry a firearm, just understand that you are representing gun owners, right? We don't want people out there doing bad things that are going to make gun owners look bad because it doesn't represent gun owners.
It doesn't
properly.
These things that go on, like, and some of these protests and stuff, they are not representative of gun owners as a whole. They're small sects of gun owners that are preaching one particular message. That's all fine and dandy. I mean, this is America. You have the right to do that.
Sure.
You certainly do. And I
also have the right to disagree, but we won't go there.
Yeah. So everybody's entitled to their own opinion about things, and that's what makes America so great.
For the record, I don't agree with Breonna Taylor getting killed.
No, everyone has their own opinions about things that are going on, and that's what makes this country so great, is that it is a melting pot of not only mentalities, philosophies, religions, cultures. Okay, that's what makes this country what it is. We are the great experiment. Okay, so if you have a varying opinion about something, then protest it, whatever the case is. But people need to learn how to respect others and their opinions, no matter what they may be. I mean, they may be to the extreme, but people are still entitled to those opinions. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it wrong either.
Right.
But anyways,
you're absolutely right. I mean, some of you guys need to look into USCCA. That's why I mentioned, I spent a little bit of time mentioning it at the beginning of the video because some folks, look, especially if you're a new gun owner, they've got a lot of resources. And look, we, as a YouTube channel, I mean, we put out our video that was essentially a message to new gun owners. We put out information about different ammunition choices, different firearms choices. We tried our best through the use of our content to paint as clear of a picture as we could as to the do's and don'ts and the safety aspect of it. And those videos are there. They're out there. They're free. Go watch them. It don't cost you anything to go watch those videos. And not only us, but plenty of other YouTubers have put out videos to help welcome new gun owners into the fold and tell you a little bit about safety and what you should and shouldn't do. Guys, those resources are out there. They're free. You know, you can join USCCA, get the protection, and have all the resources they have available, plus all the free resources all over the internet. There's no reason to not know, to be in the dark about something, to be ignorant to a situation. So all we're saying is, you know, look, I don't care what side of the political situation you're on. I don't care what side of the debate you're on. Those things are irrelevant to me in the scope of this video. I care about the safety of my fellow Americans, okay? I don't want anybody getting hurt, all right? We want everybody to be civil and to speak their mind and be them and do what they need to do. But let's keep it down to a dull roar, guys. Please don't hurt each other, you know, especially by mistake. We don't want any accidents. That's just not what we do. That's not the kind of people we are. Firearms owners are responsible people. You know, we take every precaution. We're safe. We're courteous. We take care of the place around us. We leave the place better than we found it. In the back of your mind, as long as you keep that idea afloat, you're not going to go wrong. You're going to excel as long as you keep those ideas in the back of your mind. Mm-hmm. Guys, be safe out there. It's hot. Drink water. Carry medical. Be courteous. Be kind. Be firm in your beliefs, but be kind and courteous. And I think, you know, things will happen as they need to happen, okay? We want to make this video just to sort of break that down and talk about it a little bit. We're not saying we agree or disagree with any one side or the other. We're not trying to choose sides. That's not what this video is about. We're trying to keep it as non-political as possible because we just want this to be about the gun handling and the aspect of being a gun owner, no matter what side of that situation you might find yourself on.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, guys, have a great day. We appreciate you watching. Definitely all the folks who support Man Cans. If you buy t-shirts on Ballistic Ink, you guys are great. Thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day. Many more videos on the way. We'll see you soon.
See you guys next time.